Hi, everyone. My name is Martin Saveski, and I'm very excited to share with you our work on social catalysts, characterizing people who spark conversations among others. This is a joint work with my collaborators from Facebook, Farshad, Sylvia, Carlos, Bryce, and Lada. This work was motivated by our observation that most replies in conversations online tend to be directed towards the user that started the conversation. But sometimes users post things that prompt interactions among other users. And reflecting on our personal experiences, we noticed that each of us could identify someone in our social circles that is particularly good at creating opportunities for others to interact. So we set out to identify such users on Facebook, which we call social catalysts. And specifically, we decided to focus on users who prompt interactions through their posts. In the rest of this presentation, I'll discuss how we measured catalystness and what are the distinguishing characteristics of catalyst posts and catalyst users. Before we start, it's useful to discuss how the role of a social catalyst could be related to other roles that have been extensively studied in the literature. The first one is the role of an opinion leader or an influencer. In the social network analysis literature, these individuals are defined by their network position. They tend to be highly connected and occupy a central position in the social network. So one may hypothesize that social catalysts are similar to influencers in that their posts attract a lot of attention, which in turn may create many opportunities for others to interact. The second role is that of brokers, proposed by Burt in 2005. He suggested that people who have ties across disconnected parts of the social networks have a lot of social capital, as they're able to import information from one part of the network into another. So we may posit that social catalysts are similar to brokers in that they prompt interactions in one part of their networks, by brokering information that they discovered in another part of their network. Okay, so with that context in mind, let's move to discussing how we measured catalystness. We will start at the post level. We define the catalystness of each post as the number of reply interactions that do not include the poster. Let's consider an example. Here, user A posts a status update. Then user B posts a comment, followed by a comment by user C. These two comments are not catalyst interactions, as they're direct replies to the poster. But next, user D posts a comment and it mentions user B, which we count as a catalyst interaction. And last, user E replies to D's comment and D replies back. Both of these are catalyst interactions as they do not involve the poster. So in this case, we say that the post posted by user A catalyzed 3 interactions. Finally, to measure user catalystness, we aggregate the number of catalyst interactions on all of users' posts. To validate our measure, we surveyed 10,000 users on Facebook and asked them to nominate up to 3 of their friends. We asked 4 questions that were designed to capture different aspects of what we consider to be catalyst behaviors. Among the 4, question 3 perhaps follows our definition most closely: who posts things on Facebook that get people to open up and talk with others. Then we looked at how the nominated friends compare to other friends of the respondents in terms of the number of catalyst interactions that they prompted. In this plot, the y-axis shows the mean percentile rank of the nominated users. The x-axis shows questions 1 to 4, and the different colors represent the first, second, and third nomination. What we find is that across the four questions, nominated friends prompt more catalyst comments than other respondents' friends, falling somewhere between the 68 and 78 percentile rank, depending on the question. This suggests that our measure of catalystness aligns pretty well with the participants' perception of who among their friends is catalyst. We also analyzed how the nominated friends compare to other friends of the respondents in terms of the number of friends they have. And what we found was that the nominated users fall much closer to the middle of the distribution, somewhere between the 53rd and 60th percentile rank. And this suggests that the users that were nominated as catalysts are not the participants' most popular friends and do not resemble the characteristics we usually associate with influencers. Now that we have defined and validated our measure of catalystness, we turn to identifying the distinguishing feature of Catalyst posts and users. We classified posts with at least 15 interactions as Catalyst posts. And then we matched each Catalyst post with a non-Catalyst post that was posted by users by a user with the same number of friends. We used the friend count here as a proxy for how much exposure the post got. We found that Catalyst posts are 1.8 times longer than the matched posts, suggesting that they might be more informative. They're 2.2 times more likely to contain a question mark, indicating that they're more likely to pose questions, which then serve as conversation prompts. They're 2.2 times more likely to be original posts versus reshares, suggesting that Catalyst users catalyze interactions by posting original content rather than acting as brokers that filter and amplify content published by others. And then finally, we scanned the posts with empath's topical lexicons and found that Catalyst posts are more likely to be on positive topics. Next, we move to the distinguishing characteristics of Catalyst users. We defined Catalyst users as those who prompted at least 30 interactions across all of their posts during the 4-week period that we consider. Catalyst users, which constitute 1% of all users, account for almost a third of all Catalyst interactions. Again, to analyze their characteristics, we matched each Catalyst user with another non-Catalyst user who posts as often and has a similar number of friends. So we analyzed a number of different user characteristics, but in the interest of time, I'll focus on the network characteristics. First, we looked at the local clustering coefficient of the users' networks. This is an important measure because it's a normalized version of Bird's brokerage measure. And what we found was that Catalysts have only slightly higher local clustering coefficient than matched users, which suggests that they're not significantly more likely to be brokers than their matched counterparts. We also looked at many other ego network characteristics. We computed the modularity, degree of variance, degree of assertivity, and many other features of the user's ego networks. And we found statistically significant but substantively very small differences between the ego network characteristics of the Catalyst and the matched users, which suggests that the difference in behavior or the catalyzing behaviors that Catalysts exhibit cannot be explained by their network position. We also looked at the friendship initiation and transitivity patterns in Catalysts. We found that Catalysts are less likely to initiate new friendships. We also analyzed all friendship triangles that the Catalyst and match users were part of. And what we found was that the link between their friends is more likely to be created last for Catalysts than for matched users. And this suggests that besides being able to prompt interactions among others, Catalysts may also be good at connecting others. Testing this hypothesis requires further analysis. So in summary, we studied the characteristics of posts and users that catalyze interactions among others on Facebook. We found that Catalyst posts are longer original posts on positive topics. We also found that Catalyst users do not have markedly different ego networks and do not resemble influencers or brokers. Our paper is available online. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. And with that, I would like to close and thank you for your attention.